You, beautiful and amazing human being, welcome back to the WeAreChange show, where we try to give you a conscious dose of reality and away from the party politics bullcrap psychological warfare that you're probably used to. Now, before we start today's program, we have to do announcements and other boring bullcrap. But just so you guys know, every single Saturday now we do a cryptocurrency show with Josh from World Alternative Media. We also now are doing a live show every Sunday evening with Jason Burmis, who, by the way, goes live almost every single day on our Facebook page, facebook.com/wearechange.org. And from now on, Jason will be uploading a lot of different content to our backup channel, Pulse Change, which is available on the right hand side of our main channel. Also this week we added 3 exclusive videos for our patrons and people who are on our sponsorship lounge as a token of appreciation for the people who help us exist. Because it's definitely not YouTube monetization. Enough boring announcements, let's keep moving with the very light-hearted and easygoing. Yeah, the doomsday clock has just moved closer to midnight. By the way, the doomsday clock is a symbolic gesture organized by scientists and policy experts on how close the world is to nuclear annihilation. Yeah, and just as of a few hours ago, the doomsday clock has been moved 2 minutes forward. A very profound but also just symbolic gesture. And people who are new to this channel are probably saying, yeah, the experts and scientists are probably worried about North Korea. But there's actually surprising news coming out of North Korea today, as the North Korean state media issued a rare declaration that the Koreans on both sides, North and South, should work together towards reunification. This, with the improving relationships that previously have been happening between the North and the South, shows a very optimistic sign towards peace in that region. But if you've been watching this channel, you know that the potential conflict between North Korea and the United States wasn't just about those two countries, but more specifically about China. Because it was China that even said that they would align themselves with the country that is attacked if there was a potential conflict between the United States and North Korea. A proposition that of course angered the United States and prevented them from attacking North Korea. And it's also China that has and also looks like they are continuing to support and aid North Korea. And with the chance of peace for the Koreas more possible than ever before, the military-industrial complex needs something to keep them going. And surprise, the United States is sending its warship to Vietnam for the first time in decades, in a very controversial move that even Newsweek puts it will really piss off China. Of course, these were plans put together by Defense Secretary Jim Mattis that is planning to send this U.S. aircraft carrier to Vietnam as mainly a symbolic gesture to signal to China to rethink its aggressive expansion. And as we know, China has been expanding their military presence in the South Asian Sea by building man-made islands and military bases there. The United States, of course, has protested that before because they are along major trade routes and do empower China in that region. And historically speaking, if you look at any major war, the wars were usually fought alongside the major trade routes. So right now, the world is pretty much holding its breath, as the Chinese state media is even accusing the United States right now of wantonly provoking trouble in the South Asian Sea. So yeah, as we've been telling you on this YouTube channel, it's not North Korea that is the United States and Donald Trump's biggest problem and adversary in the region. It is China, and there are multiple fronts which this kind of competitive Cold War-like face-off could expand itself in. And of course, the economic warfare has already been brewing for a very long time, with China aligning themselves with Russia and other countries making very significant moves against the US petrodollar within just the last decade. Now, of course, many people are fearing a trade war between the United States and China. And honestly speaking, this looks like a more likely situation since 1, it's already been happening for a while, and 2, the likelihood of a military action is very unlikely predominantly because both nations would wipe themselves out. And I think they call it assured annihilation or something or whatever. Now, of course, the United States, that outspends the rest of the world in military spending, has more of an advanced military than China, but China, of course, has the manpower that the United States does not have. But in today's day and age, when we're talking about a conflict between two superpowers in this world, it's just simple that there would be assured annihilation of both countries, which obviously people say is a horrible thing, but some people say is a good thing because it's also a preventative measure from it actually happening. But I'm very curious, what do you think? Let me know in the comment section below. And now moving forward in other U.S. foreign policy news, we are now finding out that the U.S.-backed Kurds are now calling on the Syrian regime to help them fight Turkey. As we know, two major U.S. allies are at war with each other on the Syrian countryside, with now Turkey, a NATO ally, saying that they will target U.S. forces on the ground in Syria if the United States does not stop supporting the Kurds. Now, it looks like the United States will actually take the side of Turkey, since now the former U.S.-backed rebels are going to their former enemy. And that, of course, is Bashar al-Assad and the Syrian government, which also has an interest in protecting their territory. And now, in related American failed disaster news, we of course have the latest revelations about Hillary Clinton, who we're finding out right now protected a campaign staffer who was accused of sexual harassment. And instead of firing a person who was accused of sexually harassing a younger female staffer, they didn't even fire him. They just docked his pay and ordered him to undergo counseling, while the woman who accused him of sexually harassing her was the one who actually had to move her job, forcing the young woman, of course, to sign a non-disclosure agreement, which is the favorite weapon of corrupt politicians, sexual abusers, rapists, media moguls, and other rapist buttholes who use the legal system and abuse it to get away with their crimes. And hey, when you're a part of the most corrupt, criminal, political family in the Western world, you pretty much get to do what you want, and you get away with it, just like Hillary Clinton did. And even the FBI admitted that Hillary Clinton had a tyrannical grip over Washington, D.C., as it just came out that investigators knew she was corrupt, but were scared of what she might do to them if they investigated her. This, of course, is new information coming out from the text messages of FBI officials Peter Strzok and Lisa Page, where, you know, the Federal Bureau of Investigations was afraid of Hillary Clinton. And we also just found out from these two FBI officials' text messages, which has now revealed them as the leakers of confidential information to the Wall Street Journal, and a reporter who is now at the Washington Post. And now, to save us all time, I'm just going to run through important articles that I think you should know about by reading the title to you. And the first one, of course, is now the German police is actually suing an American woman for slander after she called them Nazis when the police officers told the woman at the airport that she had too many liquids and had to get rid of her deodorant. Never tried to take away cosmetics from a woman, but she tried to argue that the deodorant was a solid. The cops said it was a liquid. She responded by calling them effing German Nazi police, and now she's being sued, which is ridiculous. Also, John Podesta, Hillary Clinton's former campaign manager, recently wrote a piece in the Washington Post where, of course, he talked about and promoted the subject of population control. Not a surprise there. Check out the link for yourself and the sources of this video, which will be on our Steemit account, and of course posted in the comments and my Twitter account. Also, WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange has recently asked a UK court to drop the arrest warrant against him that prevents him from leaving the Ecuadorian embassy, which is now being ruled on and has the possibility of freeing Julian Assange away from the embassy. Of course, that's probably unlikely, but it's still happening. Also, a libertarian Facebook page was just banned for making jokes about Tide Pods. The Facebook page, The Liberty Review, was banned for 30 days for this meme, which I think is a pretty valid point and reminds us that our days here are numbered as we are using the conglomerate corporatocracy to share this message, and they are getting more restrictive with, of course, us bashing them and telling the truth about them. So, of course, don't forget to go to WeAreChange.org and sign up on our email list. I don't even know how to send out emails yet. It's just a backup when they do eventually take us down. And remember, even though we talk about a lot of hard, serious topics on this YouTube channel, we could all probably just be living in a computer simulation. So yeah, we have that, which of course could be very likely. But either way, it's all gonna be okay no matter what. How do you ask? Well, I don't really know, but it's better to have this mindset than not. Since in reality, we are the imagination of ourselves and our consciousness creates our own reality, but okay, I gotta stop, sorry. Thank you all you beautiful, amazing people that support us on patreon.com/WeAreChange. Without you, we would not be able to do what we are doing right now, and that's why I love you guys. Thank you again so much for watching. Stay tuned for more. And I promise less hippy-dippy rambling at the end of the show. Your thoughts create your own reality, bye.